The other thing I'd like to say that's going on in the product design world is the move from designing products to designing experiences. So in general, for most of our lives, we design products. You know, and I had a lot of fun going in front of CEOs, and you put this thing on the table with a black cloth, and you pull it over, and everybody says, "Wow, look at that." But the truth is that really didn't give a very good indication of what the product was like, or what the product was going to be like in use, right? And so now more and more we design experiences instead of designing the product itself, right? And one of the things, the byproduct of this is we're hiring more and more videographers, because if you think about the prototype of a product is this kind of thing that we make in Pearl over here in the shop, right? And model makers and people like that we hired. But the truth is that doesn't tell you a whole lot about the product. It's more interesting to see a video of the product and how it will impact its use. So in doing a pacemaker programmer for Medtronic, making a movie of what the doctor-patient relationship is going to be like is much more interesting than seeing the lump of technology sitting on the table, right? And so you start to think of things completely different when you think that your job is to design the experience of using your device as opposed to designing the device itself. So in designing taking the train, right, it's not about designing the train set or the interior or the uniforms. It's about designing the experience of taking the train. So there's all these steps. When you start thinking that way, you think, in this case, there are 10 steps. You have to think about learning about the train schedule. You have to think about planning. You have to think about starting, entering, ticketing, waiting, boarding. Riding is step number 8, right? In trying to make that. You know yourself when you take a plane ride. Not many people ride trains around here, but if you take a plane ride, you know, the experience you had, how much you're endeared to that airline, to their service, is based on a lot of things. You know, was the plane on time? You know, how easy it was to board? You know, like, was there carry-on? How nice was the flight attendant? You know, like how good the food was? You know, there's a million things that add up to your experience. And the truth is, you have to design all those things if you want to be successful, right? So it's just a small mind change, but it certainly makes a lot of difference in what we end up doing. GM's electric car, the EV1. There was lots of issues like this because it's a new-to-the-world kind of technology. One of the things interesting about the EV1 is its initial name was called Impact. We said that we spent a long time trying to come up with a worse name than that, and we did come up with Head On as a. In looking at recharging your car, we found all kinds of things, but one of the things we found was that we put these recharging units so if you look at the car, it worked pretty good. You know, we could tell you how long it took to recharge, how many miles you'd have, you know, stuff. And we were like just building them out in the big warehouse and you could do it. But then we started designing the experience, and it became clear that you were going to have to go into a garage, maybe into the basement of the parking garage in order to charge your car. And pretty soon it was clear. You just watch people they weren't going to go into the bottom of the garage, right? That was like a negative to them, a big negative to them. And so you have to design the whole experience, and so we moved them up to energy spaces like handicap spaces in our scenario of how the EV1 would be used.